Hey guys, enter the stars, and I believe we're getting closer to solving the secrets of this universe. Now, what you're looking at is a view from Kenya, Africa, and standing at exactly the equator. The stars in the middle of your view, the middle of the zenith, will move in exactly a straight line. But when you look to the right of the sky, the, the stars will travel in a direction opposite than the side over here on this side. One is going counterclockwise and one is going clockwise, and in the middle it's going straight up and down. How can this be? Somehow the image that we're seeing in the sky is a reflection or a refraction, which completely explains the reversal of the moon being upside down, the sun being upside down, the stars moving in the opposite direction in the southern hemisphere. Let's take a look. Now, a round Earth cannot create this effect, as far as I know. What we're looking at is a mirror effect of some kind, or a refraction of some kind of lens. Now, this is interesting. This was a post by Casey Chan. I'm going to play a portion of this video. This will blow your mind. This is taken inside of a perfect mirror globe, as if you were standing inside a reflecting mirror that surrounded you like a sphere. I don't have all the answers, you guys, but I know what I see when I look at this image. And what we're looking at is reflections and refractions of an image. And we don't see this miracle with stop motion photography that is happening before our eyes. This is the image through a raindrop, and it is completely turned upside down. And when you start to think of things in these terms, then you start to understand that maybe we're looking at a reflection. Let's take a look at this short video.
But don't get too enamored with your reflection, because mirrors don't show you as you really are.
Now, what this man was demonstrating is that when you're standing in exactly the middle of this mirror globe, that you see your face fully in your reflection. But then when you step away from it, from the center, backwards, you flip upside down. But when you approach the side of the mirror from the middle, inside, you are right side up. So, in effect, it is mimicking the image that we're seeing here as we're looking at the night sky from the equator only. When you're in the northern hemisphere, the stars go only one direction and they spin. And if you were to step over a few feet in the southern hemisphere, they spin in the opposite direction. Here is another image of a ball of water in weightlessness in space, and they are showing that it actually turns things up. I looked at some scriptures in the Bible to see if I could get any more clues. And it says here, or darkness that can't see, and abundance of water cover thee. Is not God in the height of heaven? And behold the height of the stars, how high they are. And thou sayest, how does God know? Can he judge through the dark cloud? Thick clouds are a covering to him, that he seeth not, and he walketh in the circuit of heaven. Now this is the King James Version. Praise him, ye heavens of heavens, and ye waters that be above the heavens. Are there some kind of waters above the heavens that are reflecting this image to us? If any of you have any experience with lenses and domes, mirrors that would create this kind of effect on a given surface, please come forward and let's brainstorm and talk about it. So I dug a little deeper into the scriptures, and I saw how Lucifer fell from heaven, possibly as a star, and how he said, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. Maybe in this water region that we just saw in the last verse. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. Now, for those of you that believe in God and have faith in Jesus Christ in the Bible and take it as the indelible doctrine of the Creator, the Bible is clear and God doesn't make mistakes. The sun is what stands still, not the earth. If the earth was rotating around the sun, he would say that the earth stood still, and that is what caused the sun to stop in the sky. Instead, in these 3 Bible verses, the sun and the moon stand still in their habitation. Not the earth stops spinning. Again, God doesn't make mistakes. Now let's get into the book of Enoch and see what it has to say. And Enoch confirms here that it is the stars and the moon and the sun that are moving, not the earth. By his oath, the sun and moon complete their progress, never swerving from the command given to them forever and ever. By this oath, the stars complete their progress. We see clearly here that everything exists on winds, and that is what governs the movement of heavenly bodies as well as the clouds of the earth. They're on separate wind tracks, as it says here. I surveyed the receptacles of all the winds, perceiving that they contributed to adorn the whole creation and to preserve the foundation of the earth. I surveyed the stone which supports the corners of the earth. Now it uses the word corners, so we have to be careful here. I also beheld the 4 winds which bear up the earth in the firmament of heaven, and I beheld the winds occupying the exalted sky, the heavens, arising in the midst of heaven and of earth, and constituting the pillars of heaven. I saw the winds which turn the sky, which cause the orb of the sun and all of the stars to set, or to move around the sky. And over the earth I saw the winds which support the clouds. So 2 separate wind tracks. I perceived at the extremity of the earth the firmament of heaven above it. Then I passed on toward the south. So he started in the north, and he saw the firmament of heaven. Firmament of heaven, which means heaven is firm just like the earth is firm. Then I passed on toward the south. Then he gives more descriptions of what he saw in the south. Now this is interesting because Enoch talks about the stars, and that this place until the consummation of heaven and earth will be the prison of the stars and the host of heaven. Up above this firmament, the stars which roll over fire are those which transgressed the commandment of God before their time arrived, for they came not in their proper season. Therefore was he offended with them and bound them until the period of the consummation of their crimes in the secret year. So basically, there is a time when there will be a consummation between heaven and earth, and we know that. And the firmament between us will be erased, is what Enoch is saying here, which is, to me, it's fascinating, because it could explain how the image of the stars is reflected, and we are seeing an image of it rather than the actual stars themselves. And as we read on in Enoch, we see the truth about why the heavens were made. They were made for us, so that we could see God's glory. They were made for man, not for the universe and infinite planets and infinite other things. It was made for man. And that there were 3 heavenly gates. It says here, through each of these small gates the stars of heaven passed on and proceeded toward the west by a path which was seen by them, and that at every period of their appearance, when I beheld them, I blessed. Every time is which they appeared, I blessed the Lord of glory, who had made these great and splendid signs, that they might display the magnificence of his works to angels and to the souls of men, and that these might glorify all his works and operations, might see the effect of his power, might glorify the great labor of his hands and bless him forever. And here is the hope, and here is why we are a little bit different. In his presence he existed and has revealed to the saints and to the righteous the wisdom of the Lord of spirits. For he has preserved the lot of the righteous, because they have hated and rejected the world of iniquity, and have detested all its works and ways, in the name of the Lord of spirits. We don't love this world. We love the Lord of the spirits, God, and for that we will be hated. And in those last days, the saints and the chosen shall undergo a change. The light of day shall rest upon them, and the splendor and glory of the saints shall be changed. And the day of trouble, evil, shall be heaped up upon sinners. But the righteous shall triumph in the name of the Lord of spirits. Others shall be made to see that they must repent and forsake the works of their hands, and that glory awaits them, not in the presence of the Lord of spirits, yet that by his name they be saved. The Lord of spirits will have compassion on them, for great is his mercy, and righteousness is in his judgment, in the presence of his glory. Nor in his judgment shall iniquity stand. He who repents not before him shall perish. Henceforth I will not have mercy on them, saith the Lord of spirits. So everyone will be given a final chance to see the miracle of God's glory before the end. And the thoughts of those who dwell on the earth shall transgress within them, and they shall be perverted in all their ways. They shall transgress and think themselves gods, while evil shall be multiplied among them. And the punishment shall come upon them, so that all of them shall be destroyed. Now, just before this verse, Enoch talks about how everything in the sky is going to change, and that the seasons will be late, and fruit won't bear from trees. Now, anytime we hear a star falling in heaven or in the book of Enoch, it falls from heaven to earth. How can that be if the stars are billions of miles away and could fall and destroy planets? How can that be that these stars fall from heaven to earth all the time in the book of Enoch in the Bible? And here, Enoch tells us what the stars are, all called by their respective names. In a righteous balance I saw it. He weighed out their light, the amplitude of their places, and the day of their appearance and their conversion. Splendor produced splendor, and their conversion was into the number of angels and of the faithful. We and the angels are represented in the stars. Then I inquired of the angel who proceeded with me, and explained to me secret things, what their names were. He answered, a similitude of those has the Lord of spirits shown thee. They are the names of the righteous who dwell upon the earth, and who believe in the name of the Lord of spirits forever and ever. Now we can understand why the morning star signified the coming of Jesus. And now we can understand why Lucifer fell like lightning from heaven. And there was a time when all the morning stars sang together, or all the stars sang together in heaven, before the fall of Lucifer. Do you see how all this can start to fit together? And now as you view the image of the inside of a spoon and the outside of the spoon, and you realize that they spin or are in opposite directions, I now want you to look at this papyrus symbol, ancient Egyptian, and imagine that this is one spoon, the outer edge, and that this is the other image with the inner spoon, and that one is going the other direction than the other. But at the equator, at this line, they appear to be going straight across. And here, they're moving in one direction, and down here, they're moving in another. This is ancient Egyptian papyrus. Did they know something that we don't? Take care and be safe, you guys.